And hello again everyone, and welcome. Today we shall be talking about... Wait a second. Hold on. Wait. I know that sound, it's been so long. Yes, my phone. Hello? What? That's new info. Okay, fine. Yes, I have a multifunction phone, don't at me. It works as a T-set as well. Yes, it's one single item, the entire T-set is one item, don't question it. Okay? Good. So, apparently, there has been some new info. I was planning to discuss the rise of the game Palworld, but now we will be discussing the fact that apparently it's using AI and... Excuse me for a second. Hello. Okay, thanks. So, new info has come out. Apparently, we will be discussing not just the AI allegations, but also the fact that it has been copying Pokemon. And are you for real right now? Hey, hello. The CEO did what? Okay. So, along with everything else, we shall also be discussing the fact that the CEO appears to be a crypto bro, and yeah, that's already kind of yanks now, isn't it? So, in this video... Again. Okay, fine. Hello. Oh, that was fake. Oh, okay. So apparently there is a chance that... Are you kidding me right now? Okay, you know what? Be right back. So... I hope this has given everyone a bit of an insight into how this turn of events has been going on. And the reason why this thing that should have been like, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes and out on Friday. It is currently Wednesday, I think. Yeah, Wednesday. And I'm just now finishing the video. Pretty much every 4 hours something new came up. But I feel like now, this time, no matter what happens, I think unless something completely out of left field happens, and it's unlikely, but unless something completely out of left field happens, I feel like I have the information I need, or the information you all would like to hear about the game. Whether you've been on the fence about it, whether you've been excited to play it, if you want to have a clear view of how this controversy came about and what it actually is and how severe it is, yeah, I think I have the info for you. I shall now peer into the hellscape that is Twitter. What did you think I was going to go? So, Palworld, let me just... Where is it? Oh, there we go. So, Palworld. You guys don't need to see that. Open world survival crafting game for up to 23 players. Adventure with over 100 types of pals. Capture, train, battle, or put your pals to work. We have spent 3 years, remember this is important, 3 years making our dream game, and we hope everyone enjoys. It's actually a bit closer to 4 years. I have been checking out let's just say that I've done my research, okay? It's closer to 4 years. But the first trailer came out 3 years, hence why the 2 years is there, so there you go. They've also released a world map. And, oh, not a world map, a road map. Close enough. Palworld, world map, road map, close enough. The world has roads on it, we'll go with that. And yeah, they have had a few critical issues with some of the online stuff. Single player, it works fantastic. Like I have not found a major bug in single player yet. Multiplayer, yeah, there's quite a few bugs. It's still enjoyable though. It's a nice game. It's a good experience. I can actually recommend this. And not because I'm biased, because I was very much ready to bring out the torches and pickaxes and whatever else needs bringing out myself. But I'm the type of person who trusts their instinct, and I've seen enough bullshit to kind of know when it's at foot. And I know it just didn't trigger that much, and there is a reason why I'm saying that much with this one. It's a fine line between copyright infringement, inspiration, and legally distinct. Those are two different terms which are very, very important, as we are about to find out. So, one of the main reasons this got so much attention is this thing here. 7 million copies in 5 days. That's a fantastic number. We also have, where did I place it? Ah, yes. All-time peak of 2 million on Steam. 2 million. I think this is the second most played game on Steam in history. And one of those games, I do believe was PUBG. I think that, if I remember correctly, it's 3 million or something like that. The top of the top ever. But this is just on Steam. The game is also on Game Pass. I cannot state just how big this game became. Look at this. It's not a Friday. Look at the growth of this. Now sure, there is a bit of time zone whamminess with it going up and down. But for the most part, it just keeps going higher and higher, as you can see here. And it's consistent. This is a pattern. This is a player pattern right here. This wavy thing. It isn't a loss of interest or anything. It's a player time zone pattern thing. So yeah, game seems to be good. Game is fun, I'll tell you that much. So what is the problem with it? You can also get very creative. Some people actually beat one of the early game bosses, although it's a very high level, by making fires and making it run into it to give it the status effect of burn. This is a creative game, you can do a lot of stuff with it. So, what was the controversy about? Well, let's move forward, because I have a few tabs here. Most of them are relevant. First one here. I went to the entire 101 list of pals in Palworld to see what seems like a Pokemon ripoff compared to not. Because I've seen a lot of people talk about it. About a comprehensive list. Here's what I found. It's a lot. Regarding this, a lot of these are, how do I say this? Here are three terms that we need to get out of the way. There is copyright, there is trademark, and then there is, what was the third one? Brain. My brain has learned too much after so much research on this, I'm gonna be honest. There's trademark, there's... What was the last one? Patent, that's the one. There's trademark, there's patent, and... copyright. Those are the three legal terms that are kind of important when it comes to copying someone else's work, and if you can or cannot do that. Usually in the cannot do that department. Now here's one of the things that most of the people have kind of ignored, or simply were not aware of. Different countries have different laws. Where your company is situated, pretty much decides the laws it has to follow, for the most part. Since most companies are in Japan, the Palworld and Nintendo slash... it was not Naughty Dog, what was it? Game Freak. Yeah, Game Freak are the ones with the Pokemon games. Are all in Japan. They have to follow the Japan rules. Palworld, while it might be in deep water by going by, let's say, American rules, for example, which I assume a lot of people went for, actually doesn't seem to be infringing on the Japanese laws for copyright and whatnot. And there are several reasons for that, and one of them is the difference between trademarks and everything else. Nintendo actually doesn't have all of the Pokemon trade marketed. Fun fact. So you could see it as them flying very close to the sun, but they kind of knew what they were getting into and what is close enough and what isn't. They were pretty much Icarus, but they were not Icarus' son who went too close. That's how I'd like to put it. So, morally dubious? Yes. Illegal? Doesn't seem like it. But let's have a look through these. Because some of them are actually interesting and quite a stretch. This one, for example. I could kind of see it. Yeah, sure. It has some differences, but honestly, you could just say this is a grass sports athlete or football guy. And it's kind of the same. The same inspiration, I mean. So, yeah. Now this one. I'm just gonna put this out here. The teeth, they are not as original as you think we are. Even the number of teeth and the position of them is not nearly as specific as you think it is. I wish I actually prepared for this, but there's a thing in art and with geometry in general, and even with stories. You ever wonder why it's always find the 3 beacons or the 3 knights from the west, or 3 is an important number, right? Turns out, the more you go higher in number, the more difficult things become when it comes to both storytelling and design. Now sure, everyone loves an intricate design, if it's done well. But there's such a thing as being too busy. So you need the amount of teeth that properly conveys the fact that they are teeth and they are sharp. Too many and it will look not good. Too few and it will just be a triangle. 2 triangles next to each other. And yeah, there's a non-zero chance that's what's happening here. I'm not gonna lie. Both of them are based on the Cheshire Cat, which is described as having jagged teeth and big yellow, almost glowing eyes. This one's a better one because the Cheshire Cat is also purple. Or this color. I'm not sure. It's not violet, is it? I think it's purple. Anyways. This one. The general shape, I guess, is what they were hinting at. But, I don't know, maybe even that looks a little bit slightly different to me. I don't know. Okay, I can kind of see it here. Giratina's face. You mean the classic knight face? Because that's what this is. Pokemon did not invent this shape here. I'm gonna tell you that much. They did not invent it. They elongated the bottom part. That's what they have, which isn't actually here. So what are we talking about? And after that they kind of start just going off the rails. Swobble's fin. First off, that's not the same fin. I'm gonna tell you that much. Secondly, it's a very simple shape. Like if you want to make an anime style fin, there's like 3 ways to go about it. This is one of them. Again, there are 3 ways to go about it. I bloody dare you to draw me an anime style fin while keeping the same thematic as here. Don't change the style. No, I know you can do that. I know you can make the film more detailed and stuff, but that's not the theme we are going with these. If you do that, you're going away from the theme. So no, Nintendo did not create the anime porcupine. I'm sorry to announce you, everyone. Okay, I'm sorry, but what? Like, this is the point where things just start going very much haywire. This one though, fun fact about this one. This is, I can't remember the exact interview bit where I saw it, but apparently this sheep isn't actually based on Wooloo. It's based on the Cult of the Lamb sheep, without its clothes on. And without being trimmed. That's the entire idea of it. Which, if you look a bit closer, It matches the color of the horns from the ones in Cult of the Lamb. It even has the button here, like the Cult of the Lamb one has, although it's slightly different stylized. Even the eyes fit more with that one than with Wooloo. There is as well. So they did copy something, or rather a reference in this case, because a lot of these are, from what I've heard, references to the the games that the devs liked. And someone found a list of games that they did reference for each of the pals. I kind of lost it. I'm gonna be honest. I saw it. It was during work. My boss called me, and I was like, "Okay, I'm coming." Then I completely forgot and clicked off it and never found it again. But that was the one that stuck with me. This one. Let me just clarify. This is not in the game. This isn't even in the game, and people still bring it up. It was taken out. I'm not sure of the reason it was taken out, but it was taken out. So this is basically a null void. Okay, this one I can kind of see. Kind of. That's just a wolf. That is just... Hold on. What was it? Yeah, not counting the horns, Monster Rancher called, they want their wolf back. They had it way before, if I'm not mistaken. They want their wolf back. Like, come on! Again, Pokemon is not as original as people think it is, and there's a reason why they don't have a lot of things trademarked. It's because they don't own it and it's not theirs. So let's get that straight out of here. But as I've seen, as all of you have seen, there's a reason for a lot of these being the way that they are. They are legally distinct, not in the game, or they're just there, the way that they should be. This one, they both have the same inspiration. It's a warning sign for high voltage. High, which can be translated as big. It's a big guy with that theme of high voltage. It's not hard to comprehend where they came up with it. It's not literally copied. Come on, guys. Yes, the flowers that these are based off exist in real life. Get over yourselves. Yes, that's a ferret. That's a ferret, and it actually has a very different body compared to the other one. You get the general idea. Some of them, you can see that they maybe copied some of it. That is an Anubis. That is an Anubis, my friend. You did not invent ancient Egyptian mythology. I swear, some people need to actually go around and read a book, because look at this. You see this? I'm gonna Google Anubis real fast. You see this guy? Oh, this one's perfect, actually. Look at this. Hold on, can I? Open the image in the tab. Let's go back and compare the two. You see this? Anubis. You see what I mean, right? Pokemon are not nearly as original as they think. If anything, the other one fits Anubis more, because it has the dog head and the human hands, the human body. The entire body is human. Meanwhile, this is yeah, they went how do I say, they kind of took inspiration from it, but I personally prefer the other one because I lack accuracy to myths. When I hear Anubis, between this and this, I'm gonna think this is the good one. Just because it's more similar to the myth, without being a proper ripoff. There are a lot of these. A lot of these are just more accurate versions of something else. Let me find another one. Give me a second. Let me find the... Okay, that's just a Yeti. That has literally no link to that one. Where was it? There was one more that was... Fun fact about this one, before I go, because this is another one that's been looked about everywhere and so on and so forth. Nintendo kinda stole this one as well, with zero credit as far as I remember. And this was a huge debacle back in the day. That's the only reason I know of it. It was a huge debacle because an artist made a very sexualized looking dinosaur thingy, kind of like this, very much like this. It had different colors and it didn't have the two fins here. And also the number of fingers I think was different. That was the difference. And it also didn't have the purple thingamajigs here, the flames. Compare that to what Palworld did. Who basically dressed it up, gave it some new fins here, completely different proportions. Even the legs are quite different. These are sleek and slender. These kind of just cut off at this point. So again, the models are different. And we'll get to the model bit in a little, because a lot of people accuse them of just ripping the models. We'll get to that as well. Where was it? Come on, there were a few more things. That's a bee. I don't know how to tell you, that's a queen bee. They made a queen that's a bee. It's not a hard concept, not everything is stolen. Ah yes, the most basic 3 semicircles with 2 triangles for teeth. That's stolen. Bruh. Okay, full stop. Both of these are based on the Emperor Penguin. Penguins are known for being short. A supposedly short emperor, he wasn't actually that short, is Napoleon Bonaparte. He also had an outfit that kinda looks like a penguin, if you stylize it enough. Emperor Penguin. These two look nothing alike, except for the fact that they are an Emperor Penguin. A creature that exists in real life that Nintendo does not own. How did we get here? It's an electric rat. Again, Nintendo does not own electric rat. They own Pikachu specifically. If it doesn't look like a Pikachu, if it's not Pikachu shaped, which this one definitely is not. If someone told me this is Pikachu, I would slap them. I would slap them and I would make them watch all 200 episodes of Pokemon. And I'm saying all 200 because that's how much I watched back in the day. I watched a few more in the meantime, but originally, my first experience with Pokemon was around 200 episodes, back when I was a child. And I'm deeply attached to those episodes, so yeah, you get easy with just 200 episodes if you tell me that one's Pikachu. What else? Come on, load up a bit. Ah, there we go. Yeah, no, sorry, I cannot see it. Why? Because they added a scarf on it? A little bit of cloth? Dude, that... Putting small animals in clothes is not something exclusive to the winter event of Pokemon, for crying out loud. Pet owners do that all the time. You're starting to get where I'm going with all of these. A lot of them are just... yeah, no. They're just based on the actual animal. Or taken from something else. This is a beetle. This is flat out a beetle. It has nothing to do with this. like this looks way more similar to, was it Kabutomon? I think it was Kabutomon from Digimon. It's almost this, but slightly more chunky. That's it. And actually, now that I look at the form, that's probably what this is referencing, because that one also had the horns like this. In this pattern where it's like a... you can see my hands, but I'm making kind of a fork motion with them. Like a four-way claw. There we go. That's the thing I was going for. There was one more that I really wanted to rip into when I saw it. Let's tackle this one as well. Have you heard of the word Kirin, my friend? Not the Monster Hunter one, because that one has a single horn. That's my problem with it. The Monster Hunter one has a single horn. Otherwise, both this one and the Monster Hunter one are more Kirin than this one. Again, what they did for a lot of these designs is stick with the original legend, which is blue horse with clouds and golden horns. I mean, it checks out. I don't know what to tell you, it checks out. If anything, they changed the horns, so it's not quite like it. I think they actually changed, I would bet, I'm willing to bet they actually changed the horns so it's not as they should be by legend, because then they would be getting too close. Because that's something people do, by the way. This is a Pegasus. This is a nice Pegasus. How is this similar to Suicune, my friend? I swear to some people. If it has vaguely similar shape, because you know, horses, wolves, dogs, they kind of have a basic similar shape. If you look from a distance, you might confuse one with the other, especially if they lower their head a bit. Yeah, I just don't know. Some people just have way too much time with their life. And I'm including myself in that one. Because I was this close to jumping on the bandwagon until I realized, wait a second. The more I look at this, yeah, no, I can see a much more logical approach to this. But anyways, we're going. We can close this. We can go here. So in this... wait, no. Yeah. So, before we get into this... where was it? Not this, not this. This. So one more thing that caused a lot of controversy was the AI accusations, which were based on several tweets from the CEO of the company using AI on Pokemon. Turns out that was kind of fake, and I'm gonna let Kira over here explain why, because that's how I learned from it, and his video makes a lot more sense than mine. Also, hold on, actually. Hold up. Yeah, there we go. And myself, where am I? There we go. So I'm gonna let Kira explain this.
Rage Media clickbaiting the CEO of whatever Palworld's company is called, I don't even know, posted saying, I just want to make money.
These are the fake
I
ones.
Don't care about creativity.
Fake.
And also
they were
I've
badly translated and cropped out of
with
context.
AI and I don't care about this, and I like infringing copyright. Essentially just lying about what was said and misrepresenting and not showing the full context of the images. The images are here, obviously, that somebody's just selectively filtered out. If you pass through the AI filter, the image is often not a specific thing, so maybe the copyright issue will be resolved. I was surprised to see that the world is actually moving in that direction. The AI has evolved so much that I can no longer tell which one is Pokemon. Left, Pokemon-like monster generated by AI. Right, real Pokemon, and then names the Pokemon. I recently saw the same thing in a video and had the same impression. We might see true AI-powered games on GPT-4 this year. Obviously, Google translated. This is the blown-up tweet of the thing. Now, what he was talking about and what he was replying to was a BuzzFeed article.
Let me just clarify. This is the CEO. This is the BuzzFeed engineer who actually did all of this. There's no link between these two, except for the fact that the CEO saw this guy's tweet, which was viral at the time in Japan, and he pretty much shared his opinions on it. That was it. That was the entire thing.
That he said, Max Wolf posted, I forced a bot to look at every Pokemon and told it to generate its own. Here are the results. This isn't a joke. That's actually how I made these. So the point of the article is, look at what AI can do in terms of, you know, copyright infringement. He replied saying, it seems that BuzzFeed engineer automatically generated it using a method called, and then whatever this is, DALL-E, I've heard people pronounce it. So he's not saying he's done it. He's not saying they've done it in their video game. This is just another example of people thinking, I want this to be true. Now let me work backwards from that point and find whatever evidence I can that supports that point, ignoring everything that doesn't. Now, I'm not even saying that there can't be some claims of plagiarism, there can't be some claims of you know, flying too close to the sun, of copying Pokemon.
And again, by US law, they are. But they're not subject to US law. They're subject to the Japanese law, which says they're not. I hope that makes sense for everyone. Moving on.
I'm not saying that maybe they have used AI in some capacity.
It's unlikely, if I'm being honest. It's far more likely that the person who... Because as far as I know, the person who they hired as the main designer for these was a student who hasn't been hired by other companies, although he has tried. He's been apparently refused for the fact that his style is similar to Pokemon, which, yeah, we can all see that. We can all see that. Like, that's the entire point of the previous thing I had. This. We can all see it is similar, but it's also kind of distinct. So, it's distinct enough, it's legally distinct. That's the term we're gonna use, because it's the correct one. Until a judge says otherwise, in which case it's no longer legally distinct. That's how it works. But yeah, that's the general idea. So, that's one thing. Let's go a bit more into this. So, there's an article here. You can find the person that did some of the research, linked the article, whatever, translated, so on and so forth. So apparently it was their first time creating the model instead of purchasing, so they did create the models from scratch. This is later discussed in a bit. No source control nor naming conventions. Yeah, they were not exactly the... How do I say this? They have made games before, but they never did it in an organized fashion. They actually had a veteran dev come in and kind of fix things up last few months, if I understood it right. They didn't know what a rig was. Yeah, they didn't. Again, they were beginners at this. Fresh as fresh can be. I mean, okay, not as fresh can be, but they kind of took a lot of shortcuts before and they didn't take as many with this one. And surprisingly, that kind of worked out for them, so good on them. And I report is fascinating. One thing I did want to mention, as I said, their main artist was a student, college student I believe, who got refused by other companies because his art style was so similar. One thing that I don't think anyone else has found out yet, and I'm still not 100% sure on it because I don't have the confirmation, but I do have a few friends in Japan, and a few of them do owe me favors. So I asked them to look into it, look up the name, see if they can fish something out. Turns out, get this, turns out the name of the artist matches with the name of a student of one of the main Pokemon designers. Coincidence maybe? It's not the most uncommon name, so it might be someone else. I don't know. I haven't been able to find anything about that person afterwards, so it might be the same person. But it might explain the art style if they actually used to be a student of one of the main Pokemon designers. I cannot say more than that without, doxing people to an extent, so yeah, do not unto others what you don't want done to yourself. I won't go any further than this. But there might be something there. There might be somewhat of a reason why he's good at it. Quote unquote. Because some of the designs are original. Like the Emperor Penguin one, A+. I actually like it a lot. It's more it keeps that Gen 1 vibe of Pokemon very well. Gen 1, Gen 2, so to say, maybe even a bit of Gen 3. It keeps it very well. It's very... It feels like Pokemon. The other one, you look at it, it doesn't feel as much Pokemon. It feels a little bit more out of something from Digimon, if I'm honest. So, yeah, you can see he had a style and he kept with it. Was he inspired by the other Pokemon? Probably. Did he literally rip them off and trace them? Honestly, I'm gonna be 100% honest here. There is a chance he traced some of them and then modified them to be distinct enough to not get into trouble and to be able to use them. That's 100% a possibility. And if you're... how do I say? If they are modified enough, I don't think that's that big of an issue. If they are modified enough. Like, how do I say this? You see my mouse, right? If you take, say, the form of a snake, and you just want to get the snake form right, I think that's fine. Like, it's a serpent. What are you gonna do? Like, you kind of want it to look good as well when you present it to your boss. You don't want to be like, ah yes, look at this, and it's all squiggly lines all over. You're gonna touch it up, obviously. But, yeah. Again, I do believe he might have done a little bit of the tracing here and there. I don't think it's enough to, take him to court and throw out the key. So yeah, there you have it. And here, we did have a post that showed the models, one into the other. The problem was that he, how do I say this, kind of scaled them to fit. Because if you don't scale them, and you don't adjust them, the models are pretty much nothing alike. Which kind of proves that they did make the models in-house for the most part. So, yeah. So, what have we learned so far? The tweets about the AI CEO, fake. I will say this. The CEO did make an AI game. The company did make an AI game when the craze was at its height. So, I'm gonna chalk that up to them just hopping on the train. Which... honestly fair. If you're a company and you see an opportunity, half of the time you're gonna jump on it. Especially if you don't really understand what the heck it is. And the CEO definitely did not. So, there you go. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt there. Next topic. They did find out that the CEO owns a crypto exchange thingamajig. That's true. He does own it. He has made that and all, well, yada. I'm gonna just point it out that the majority of CEOs have that. You can look it up. I am not doing more research than I have already done. The majority of CEOs have had their fingers in that, whether they admit it or not. It's easier to count the ones that did not. So keep that in mind, okay? Good, next. They didn't use AI for their previous games other than the AI one. So yeah, and they didn't make the AI one, they used an external service for that. So they didn't even do the thieving themselves, technically. They just borrowed the thieving. Okay, so those were the major issues. Let's get into some of the lesser ones. Jealousy. Apparently, several in the AAA space, the devs specifically, my gut is telling me that Palworld was made nefarious. I just have no proof, just dev intuition. Your dev intuition. No accusations until proof. But there's a hidden maleficence here, Watson. I can sense it. My suspicions are not about AI or why they made money. It's definitely about why they made so much money, trust me. You've proven it yourself by deleting the post afterwards, like with the records view, and everyone was like, oh yeah, the game has been in development for 3 years. And it cost, what was it again? About 1 million Japanese yen? Yeah. I think that was the amount. Making a game is just so difficult, they're cheating somehow. I just can't be... They did make it in 1 day, it took 3 to 4 years, mate. That is a decent amount of time for a game to be made. I don't know what to tell you. Especially if it's still in early access. Like if they were like, yeah, complete game, 200 pals, boss battles, cinematics, the whole shebang. Yeah, I would be impressive. It would still be possible, but unlikely. Especially with a small team that they have. But with a bigger team it's possible, and now they might actually get that, so there is that. And yeah, a senior artist at Naughty Dog. I don't believe there was one more from... Yeah, there was another developer that seems to support him. Some digital LT. Okay. I'm not exactly sure where this one is, but whatever. Anyways, people are entitled to their opinion. I'm just going to put that out there. That doesn't really matter. They are entitled to their opinion 100%. The reason the game is successful, so successful in fact, it's not as simple as Pokemon with guns. It's that they did exactly what the developer said in one of those tweets taken out of context. They don't care about being the most original one. They care about making the game fun. And obviously making money is a part of it at the end of the day. So I think that should go without saying. They are a company, first and foremost, they're not a charity. So let's just take that part out for now. One of their objectives was to make the game fun. They also said they don't care about originality that much. What they meant was about the systems they borrowed. And I'm just gonna count a few of them. And remember, using a game system in your game, as long as it's not patented, it's perfectly legal. Just go for it, it's fine. I'm looking at you, Warner Brothers and the Nemesis system. Screw you. I'm still salty about that. We could have had so many good games, so many interesting games, but no, they had to patent the Nemesis system. Anyways, so we have Arc, the building, crafting, capturing is also from Arc, by the way. It's not from Pokemon. It has like 2 to 3 elements from Pokemon in its capturing. The base skeleton of the capture, including the sphere name, is from Arc. So that's out there. Next. They did get the style from Pokemon. I'll give them that much. Okay, fine. They also got the boss battles I do believe they got a bit of Dark Souls inspiration for them. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a little bit of Dark Souls inspiration. Maybe it's because of the dodge mechanic. They definitely got Breath of the Wild / Genshin stamina in the game. Which again, it's not copyrighted. Sorry, not copyrighted. It's not patented. It's a system you can use. It's an idea. So, if it works, if you can mix all of these things together and make something that functions and is fun, that's perfectly fine to do. That's the main take on it. I have spent way too much time finding more info, searching the internet for who's right and who's wrong. And honestly, now I just want to play some more Palworld. So, this has been Hatanashi Raza, the narrator of realities, with just a glimpse into our wonderful messed up world. Seriously, Twitter, go touch some grass or play some games. Now look, I'm gonna leave you all with a closing argument. It's fine to fight fire with fire as long as you don't burn the innocent. And I feel like a lot of innocents have been burnt in this, on both sides. People should learn to just mind their own business for the most part. Like, the second the AI allegations have pretty much been cleared, I think it stopped being the average person's problem and it's up to the lawyers of each company to figure it out. I'm just putting out there. At that point, the only concern of the people who buy the game should be, is the game good? Is it fun? Is it priced appropriately for what I'm getting? It ends there. The answer is yes to all of those above. Good day, everyone.